not because you're meant to, but because your programming is keeping you there. Now pause again and really observe this in your life. Where are you choosing familiarity over alignment? Where are you staying in something, not because it feels right, but because it feels known? Because known feels safe, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's draining, even when it's clearly no longer aligned. And that's the trap. Confusing familiarity with safety, when in reality, familiarity often keeps you stuck. Now let's go deeper, because beneath the fear of emptiness, there is another layer, a belief, a core assumption that shapes how you see everything. And that belief is this: if I let go, there won't be enough. Not enough connection, not enough opportunity, not enough security, not enough support. This is what we call a lack mentality, and it operates quietly. You don't always notice it, but it shows up in your decisions, in your hesitation, in your resistance to release. Because if you believe that letting go leads to loss, then holding on feels logical. But here's the truth. Letting go doesn't create lack. It reveals abundance. But you can't experience that if you never move past the fear. So now comes one of the most important moments in this entire journey. A moment of reflection. Not surface-level thinking, but honest awareness. Ask yourself this: what do I believe will happen if I let go? Don't filter it. Don't make it sound positive. Just be honest. What is the actual fear? Is it loneliness? Is it instability? Is it failure? Is it regret? Let it surface. And now ask the second question. Is that actually true? Not does it feel true, but is it objectively, undeniably true? Or is it a story based on past experiences, repeated so many times that it feels real? Because this is where your power begins. Not in eliminating fear, but in seeing it clearly, in recognizing that it is not truth, it is programming, and programming can be changed, but only when you stop treating it as reality. Now imagine what happens when you begin to separate fear from truth, when you feel the fear, but don't automatically obey it, when you hear the thoughts, but question them, when you create space between your reaction and your awareness. Something shifts. You become less reactive, less controlled by old patterns, more present, more intentional, and slowly, you begin to make different choices. Not because the fear disappears, but because you no longer treat it as authority. And that changes everything. Because now, letting go doesn't feel like jumping into the unknown blindly. It feels like stepping beyond a boundary that was never actually real. Which brings us back to the core theme. Letting go is not about removing something from your life. It's about removing the illusion that you need it to be okay. And once that illusion fades, fear loses its grip. Not completely, but enough for you to move. Enough for you to choose alignment over familiarity. You've now seen something clearly. The fear that keeps you holding on is not truth. It's programming. It's not guiding your future. It's protecting your past. And once you begin to see that, you loosen its control. But now, we need to go even deeper. Because something happens when you continue to resist change. Even after you recognize the fear, life begins to respond. Not gently, but unmistakably. Because if you don't choose to evolve, something will choose for you. And when that happens, it doesn't feel like guidance. It feels like everything is falling apart. But what if it's not? What if it's something else entirely? Let's uncover it. Chapter 7. You're being moved, not broken.